Good morning, people. This is Ben, this is Rescue, this is Micro Soldering Germany, and yeah, I want to say hello to the next video. We are still at the old company, at the old building, but we will move soon. Within the next 8 weeks we start completely new, and I'm really proud and I'm happy to show you the new room soon. If you want to take a quick look before, just check my Instagram, Phone Micro Soldering. From time to time I give you a story, and there you can see the work on the building. Okay, so today I'm here at the company until about 12 o'clock. At the moment we have 8 o'clock, and then I have to move to the new building because there is something to do. I have to help something and to control something. So yeah. So before we start, I want to show you Fixdesk. Please register on fixdesk.de. It's an all-in-one repair management software, including POS and billing, which we developed here right in Germany over the last 3 years now, and it's just amazing. And it gets better and it gets more features with every week. We work on it like hell. Okay, so and now we just start with the next case here on my table. It's an iPhone SE Logicboard, which was mailed in by a customer because he needs the important data. The phone was at water, and he mailed just the board, and the board looks ugly, and for me it's now just get the data fast. Okay, so let's go. We go straight under the microscope and control what we got here. So this is the board. As you can see, many corrosion. The corrosion goes under the shield here too. You can see it here. It goes in here. We have corrosion here on the around the battery FPC. We have corrosion here directly on the lightning FPC. We have corrosion on the top. Let's see under the sticker. Yeah, we have corrosion everywhere. So for me, I don't want to search anything here, because it just takes time. If I now start to clean, then start to remove shorts and to search why this phone is not booting, I will sit here for about 2 hours, and that's just crazy. I don't want to do that. So let's just take off the shield on the back side, and then we can start right away by just swapping that board. I just have a swap board here, and I have a RAM here, a known good RAM, which I can use for a 9. But people don't think that I only show you swap things. Yesterday I was doing a video for an iPhone 11 Pro, which had no boot, and it was an internally shorted NAND, but in the end the NAND wasn't readable because it was shorted, and I couldn't get the NAND data, the Wi-Fi and MAC address for the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth MAC address, and the matching serial, and just the GSX report. And at the moment it's hard to get them, and it takes a lot of money. So I wasn't able to end up this job. So I just wasted the video. So this had been a normal repair video. Okay, so I will start by doing normal repair videos for common issues on all well-known devices and all devices which are used by a lot of people as soon as we moved to company place, because then I have time again. At the moment it's really crazy. You see, I'm not doing a lot of videos at the moment, only one for about 1 month or 3 weeks, because it's just like we are moving private with our private address, because we sold our house and we are moving directly over the company with the family for private living, and we moved with the company. So, and I got 3 kids at home, so it's just crazy at the moment. So, and here you can see it's really hard corrosion. So, and now you can understand why this customer needs the important data and comes to us for seeing if we can get them. So if CPU, NAND and logic EEPROM are physically okay, I can get the data 100%. Okay, there is a 100% quote. I think it's the highest in this business, and yeah, I can give you the data if the NAND, the logic EEPROM, and the CPU are okay. The RAM will be replaced, so that's not a problem. Oh yeah, this looks really, really hard. I want to show that to you under the microscope. So, microscope. So, here you can see something already burnt here. This coil exploded. Looks like we had fire here. I hope that the CPU is okay. The logic EEPROM looks pretty okay. And the backside looks like shit. You can see corrosion everywhere. Chestnut, audio IC, touch IC, NFC, around power IC, around the NAND. Everything corroded. Everything. So this doesn't make sense to search for shorts and remove them, because you will never get a boot out of this board. So what we can do in this case is just swapping that board fast, and with 100% success if the NAND is okay, the CPU is okay, and the logic EEPROM is okay. So we have an A9 here, okay? So A9, back in the days I really was feared about A8, A9, A7, A6. Today I love them more than all the A10, A11 and things like that. For me, these old CPUs here, these sandwich CPUs, are more easy than the newer ones. So the newer ones are makeable too, it's not a problem, but I just like them more, because you don't have to be feared for shorted RAM on taking off the CPU. So in 1 out of 100 cases, perhaps on A10, A11, it could be that the CPU is shorted, and you have to grind off the RAM from the not the CPU is shorted, the RAM is shorted, so you have to grind off the RAM from the CPU. It's very thin, and yeah, here it's always like you separate the RAM always, so you never have issues like or you never have to fear for shorted RAM, because you always separate the RAM, you always reball a new RAM and sit it down to the CPU, so you don't have any issues. And that's the reason why I like them CPUs more than the ones where the RAM is 4 times thicker, 4 times thicker than the CPU, and you have to be careful. And yeah, this here is like, just use heat, take out the CPU, take off the RAM, and you are done. So okay, here we have the CPU. Okay, just one picture. So I take the CPU and I lay it down here. Now I just take off the NAND. 3 days before, I was doing a video in the morning, and then we had no more voltage here in the room, so all was going off. PC was going off, light was going off, and I could waste this video too. So at the moment I'm only in the company in the morning from 7 to about 12 o'clock. Then I have to go to the new building, and I really try to give you some stuff within this time, but it's not possible to do every time. And if I'm doing videos like this video yesterday and I can't finish it, or if I do a video and then we have voltage break, it's like, oh fuck, because I just invested time in that to give you something special. Okay, yesterday I got a mail from a customer on Facebook, and he told me bad things like, I don't want to repeat that, and he wrote, you only can do iPhone shit, and you are not a good technician, and you only can fix iPhones, and nobody wants to see them iPhones again. You are not able to swap boards like Huawei and Samsung. And I just sent him some links where I did show my followers live swaps on Android devices, and then I just plugged him, because it was really for me like, what the heck, What is your problem? Why are you so bad to me? Because I didn't do anything to get things like that back. Okay. So this was the logic EEPROM. So I just want to take some flux here. Okay, logic EEPROM sits correctly. Here is our known good board. I used it yesterday for another iPhone SE swap. You can see it in the post on Instagram. So you can watch the QR code and the serial here on this board. Okay, so that's my swap board. I always use again and again and again. So now I just use a knife and I just cut the glue around the CPU. So the RAM is on the CPU here. I didn't separate it before. You can separate it before too. It's just like you want to do. For me, my turn is, or my way is, on these sandwich CPUs, I always lift up CPU with RAM and separate the RAM later. So you have to keep attention that you don't risk damage on the CPU top side. But yeah, for me it's like I'm just doing it like that every time for a long time. So I do it like that. So you can go every way you want. There are always many ways to the success. Many ways to success. Not my way is the only one. Not my way is the best one. That's just like there are many ways. Keep attention to heat up so the solder really melts good. Don't overheat. Just heat, but don't overheat. You have to feel. Okay, done. So I just want to take a picture. It's for my Instagram. Okay, on the iPhone SE, mostly the A9 RAM doesn't blow off. On the iPhone 6s, the RAM is always like boom, it blows off, and you can waste it. Okay, this isn't the good surface. This is the bad surface. Okay, you have two surfaces on the A9. You have one which is more structured and harder, so it's just like a job, fast and easy. And here on this you have the glued one, so this takes more time to clean. More time to clean, and it's harder to work on as on the other surface. So I have to fill off my flux. My syringe is almost empty. Just refill it with my original MTech NC559 V2. That's my favorite flux, the best one in my opinion. So here we have a missing pad, but that's only a ground one. So if a ground one is missing, not a problem. That's one big advantage of them A8 and A9. You can just use solder wick to clean the CPU. If you have A10, you have to go complete other way. So the surface here is much harder, and if you lose some surface, you can just coat it by using UV. This was some clue. And now we're going to the other side. So before I start doing my process here, it's just like use one time the brush, and now it's like work. It's work now. Okay, take a new solder ball. Hey, solder ball, come down to me. Yes, now we have. Okay, that's first stage, okay? First stage cleaning. After we cleaned the first stage, it's like using hot air, knife, fresh plate. So for this job I always use a fresh plate. As you can see, we have a lot of glue here, okay? So this is the surface on A9, which has glue. Don't scrape too deep. It's only a thing of feeling, just to get off only the glue. Nothing more as the glue. And then you see that a lot of this glue is going into the holes of the solder balls, okay? The holes for the RAM. And this is something you have to keep attention later on reballing the RAM side of the CPU. Gently, don't scrape. Just like being gently. Being gently and only remove the glue. So first time, so that's first stage, sorry, first stage. So after the first stage, cleaning with hot air and the plate, it's just like cleaning one time and having a look, and you see that it's almost good, just like some little areas. So it's just like here we have some, here we have some, and that could be already okay. Again. So and now the next thing I do is just, because before we had a complete glue layer, now we removed the glue layer, and now the solder bolts are a little bit higher than the surface. So it's just about do like get in some low melt again. So the seats get a little bit more down, okay? And this looks good. Here, as you can see, pretty nice. Some more glue here. And done. Okay. Now we can reball the seats. And this is how you work on every sandwich CPU. No act which manufacturer, which model. It's always like cleaning up the glue gently. Often on Samsung or Huawei you have a lot of glue, but surfaces of the CPUs are always pretty hard, like that here on the A9. It's really good. It's really good to do. Now it looks like that, and I think that's a good base to work with. Now we need some solder paste. Some solder paste, and we get the solder paste into them seats. Like that, okay? And you see, you don't need much tools for doing a job like that. So I always use the same tools. Old, sticky, dirty fucking tools. Nothing special. Tools, fingers, and that it is. Now I clean the CPU by using clean room wipes. So our way is almost done. We just need to unbind Wi-Fi and to reball the RAM I have a fresh one here, which I always use for data recovery jobs on A9, and the CPU. So this is how it has to look like, okay? And you see, it's not magic. It's just like using your head for doing that job. So done. Now you can use, if you want, one-time flux. In this case you need not to do, because it was pretty perfect, but you can do one time. Done. Okay, wait a short time, then we can clean. So the low melt just needs some more time to cool down than other solder. And as you see, I didn't use a fixture now for fixing it. Just used hands and my board holder, which is fucked up, really fucked up, and I use it for all my jobs since a long time. So okay. I just want to take a picture for Insta. And I want to show that to you again. Okay. I think this one looks pretty perfect, okay? Good. Now we reball the CPU side. RAM side is done. So at first we clean and reball the RAM fast. Then we reball the CPU side, because here for the RAM I use low melt again, and then I use 183. So we just act up like this, getting on some flux here. I just removed it from my other job yesterday. Or I removed it today, but it was a job of yesterday. So I just removed it fast today in the morning, as I saw that I have the next SE data recovery. After that I have to do an iPhone X data recovery by swapping the top layer. So within the last year I'm always doing swaps, mostly. Why? Because people see my work in the internet, they need their important data, and they mail in the phones around the world, and I get the data for them. That's the reason why I swap so many CPUs. So here we have a stencil. Like this. So I use the rest of the solder paste which I used for the RAM seeds of the CPU. Okay, now I need tweezers. My red ones just fucked up yesterday, but Not a problem, I have enough of them in stock, so I want to get a new one later. So RAM reball done. One point of dirt here. Try to get it like, hey, what about these tweezers? Try to get it like that. Okay, done. Take a wipe, wait a short time. Always remember it's low melt. Low melt needs a little more time to just hard out. So, okay. Use a wipe. Clean one time. Clean your stancer. Okay. Add some flux. Use hot air. And have a look for the right amount of flux. Okay? Done. Just add some more here. And some more here. Okay. So, that's the RAM. Now, I just clean one time the NAND around, just for the clue rests. Then we start the JC application here. By the way, I will show you the latest JC NAND programmer within the next days on YouTube. I wanted to do it a long time before because they just sponsored the product and I told them, okay, I will make the video, but I still hadn't the time to finish. So I want to do within the next days. So next time, okay. Now it's just doing a NAND unbind and reballing the CPU. So for that I just need some paste. Well, I just took the P11 module. I need the P7 Pro, sorry. So, and now again. Just getting the NAND, connecting. So it says no disk. That's bad because I already prepared the rest, but in some cases it's just like cleaning the NAND around, using some heat, and it gets detected. We will see in a minute, okay? So, okay. Now, before we continue here, it's just like using some flux for the NAND and using some solder paste and go over through with the wick one time. So normally now we can read it and we can unbind Wi-Fi. So, and again into the P7 Pro, refresh, connect, and please read my NAND. Yes, PCI unlock Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has been repaired. Great. Okay. So and now it's all about just reballing this CPU one time, and after that the NAND. cleaning up the stencil one time. Get it in the right position. Take the paste and get the paste into the stencil, okay? Ich bin im Video und nein, habe ich nicht, den habe ich selber gegessen. So. And again, using the hot air. It is possible. Yeah. It is possible. It's video time. And if it's video time, I just move the stencil. Sorry. Sorry, people. Normally, this really never happens to me. Never. Never. I can't remember why something like this happened to me back in the days. But pretty okay. So, it isn't a problem. And again. And again, I just clean up the stencil now. This fucks up my time. My time range for this job, but okay. We are at 37 minutes. It's a lot of time for doing a job. And now I have to clean stencils because I was too stupid to get in the paste without moving the stencil. Crazy. So, now again, cleaning. Okay. I know why it moved, because the paste is really dry. It's an old bottle of paste and it's more hard to just get it down. You have to use a little bit more of power, and then it just moved a little bit. Okay. And you see that it's really dry because some points don't want to connect directly. But it's not a problem, we have flux here. See that? That looks like shit. I have to use fresh paste. Doesn't make any sense to take that paste. And now I'm really fucked up because these are jobs, really jobs, which is just a thing like 2 minutes and done. But if you have paste which doesn't want to work anymore, you get issues like that. So we had a really good or okay time until Ben fucked up. Okay, so you can give me comment. Ben fucked up, hashtag Ben fucked up. Okay, and again, the cleaning work, really, that's really a thing which never happens. Never, 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 ever happens to me. But okay. I take just fresh paste. And after I got the fresh paste, I'm pretty sure it's not a problem. Normally it's not, you can never say it's about the paste, but if the paste is a little bit too dry, you have to use a little bit more of power to get it into the stencil. Then it can move a little bit. And the next thing is, if it's too dry, some bolts don't want to connect directly. And if they don't want to connect directly, it just takes some more time. So now I use the same bottle, but I try to get it from the bottom, because the bottom is a little bit more oily, and I only push one time with the wipe and not 2 or 3 times to don't get it too dry. Okay, so like this. Here you can see that it's more easy to get the paste in now. It's not like I have to use too much power to get it in. It's almost like I have to use no power. Then and so you can see that if the paste is a little bit more oily, so there is more flux in it because I didn't took that flux out. It's just a little bit more fast to get that. Okay, so now we have perfect result. So just comment, Ben, you fucked up. You are not able to reball in a 9. You need three times to do it. But it's okay for me. In the end, the device has to boot up. That's the key. Okay, and now we have a nice looking A9, okay? Sorry people, really sorry. So you can see the bolts are all same size. That's important in the end. But it has to go faster, so I can't tell you now that I'm satisfied with that job, because I'm not at all. But okay. You can see it's not as dry as before, so it's a little oily. And I told a lot of times it's not about it's not about the paste, it's not about the tools, it's about the skill, that's right. But you have to use your skill to see how dry is the paste. Okay? And that is what I missed here. Now it's good, you see? Little oily, little shiny. Nice. I don't reflow that. I set it directly to the board. So we have already the Logic EEPROM sitting on the board. We have reballed the CPU, the CPU side of the CPU, the RAM side of the CPU. Nimm bitte den, der auseinandergebaut ist. Ich habe den anderen einstecken. Ich bin im Video, ich melde mich gleich. Es tut mir leid. So, okay. Now we have to sit down. Ich muss leider Text schreiben, ich kann keine Sprache hören, ich bin im Video. So. Now we have to use some hot air. So, solder down the NAND. Done. Ich kann es jetzt leider nicht ändern, aber der muss da sein, weil ich habe ihn nicht. So, now we move to the CPU side. Just a little picture. Now we turn the CPU. Have a look for A1. Have a look for the right position. Should be okay like this. Oh, I just lost my nozzle. Now we just solder down the CPU. Now my colleague Andy is entering the building, I think. So I solder down the CPU now. Just use some hot air to solder down. Good morning. So as soon as I see the flux is melting or coming out at the sides, I normally know that all is okay. So looks good. Good morning. Wait a short time, and then I have to take some dirt here. Okay. Wait a short time for the top layer, the bolts cooling down on the top layer of the CPU, and then we just add the RAM. So it should look like this. Picture. Now we have 50 minutes. Long time. Long time video. Now I take the RAM. Place the RAM for a picture. And put it down to the CPU. It's not placed correctly. Now it looks good, I think. Okay. Solder that RAM down. So I think it was placed perfectly. It didn't move. Flux is coming out, so we are fine. Wait a short time. We have low melt on the RAM and on the top layer side of the CPU. So it's just like waiting a short time, and we can get a screen for the iPhone SE here, just for test. An der Stuhl ein Testscreen für ein SE. Perhaps here. Yes, I have one here. No, it's 5S. I just take a screen. Here I have a test screen. Now we just clean one time here. Have a look from the side. Clean that here. Yeah, it looks good, I think. Okay. Looks flat. Hello. Let me take a picture, baby. Okay, and now we just try to boot up that board here. Okay, so that's the board, and we try to boot that board up. So I connect the screen, and I connect power, and I use my tweezers. I have to hit the right one. Have to hit the right one. 1 second, and again. And boom! We have an Apple iPhone SE board swap from this board to that board. I haven't swapped the baseband because it's only data recovery. I don't know if there are any personal data on the phone, so I keep it like that. I keep it like that until the device booted up. Okay, so as you see, it's no problem to do these jobs here, and if you need your data, it's just like get your phone to rescue data and repair. Within the next days our new website is coming online, and then it's all in English too, so it's easy to mail in devices from all over the world without any problem. And here we are. So I can go to this. You can see it's just like the brightness is going down to keep it. Oh no, I just disconnected. But you saw, okay, the touch works. The touch works and the device boots up. So here we have the app. Okay, iPhone SE board swap. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe the channel. That's really important for me to make the channel bigger, to get more viewers, to get more followers. So just help me on doing that by just subscribing the channel and give me thumbs up for the video. That would be pretty nice. And yeah, I hope that you already have an ICC Pro, because the ICC Pro is a device which every technician in the whole world needs, in my opinion. So just get it at iccpro.de. Register for FixDesk on fixdesk.de, and if you want to join our Facebook community, I would be very happy. Just search for Smartphone Repair Group Germany, answer the questions, and we will accept you. Okay, I'm out. I wish you a nice weekend, and we see us with the next video. Peace, goodbye, here's Ben. Andi, willst du noch was sagen? Tschüssi.